Hello and welcome to Patch. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips for the final episode of the year. How's things, mate?
For the 50th episode of the year.
Is that 50th?
I think so. I could be lying.
Did we only, I don't know. Did we take 2 weeks off at the beginning of the year? We haven't missed an episode all year, have we?
No, we just missed one. We missed
Just
one week at the start of the year because of the new year. And one at the end of the year because of this thing called Christmas. Which I just remembered I'm not wearing my hat for.
That's all right. I'll happily give you a second. I'll go on with the preamble while you go find Christmas.
I don't know. Just talk to yourself.
Yeah, I 100% will. So while Matto is going to sort that one out, I'll kind of drop some preamble for the show. This is our final episode of the year. We've got Christmas, New Year's coming up. So and Player 2 kind of shuts down through that period. So we'll have a couple of weeks off. Haven't actually worked out when specifically we'll be back. I'm guessing most likely the week of, maybe Tuesday the 3rd of January would be my guess. But we'll wait and see there. Maybe even the following week, the 10th. So we'll have 2 weeks off. That'll then have us lined up for another 50 episodes in 2023 as well. But for today, as Matto goes to sort out his Christmas hat situation, his Santa hat situation, we're going to be going through kind of our most anticipated games of 2023. We'll have the patches in early 2023 and recap everything from this year. Might have to try and see if we can get Damo to come along for it. See if he can get some decent internet for a night so that he can actually make it work. And we'll see how we go in that space. But for now, we're going to kind of cast an eye forward to 2023. We've kind of spoken about holy shit, this year's a bit of a mess a few times over the course of the year. But now it's actually a case of, all right, well, the year's here, so what are we kind of hyped for? Especially with the context of the Game Awards and those sorts of things behind us. So I don't know. Matto and I were talking about things before the show in terms of actually ranking and those sorts of things. So I had mine ranked. Matto didn't at the time, but I don't know if he's ranked them since, because we spent a little bit of time kind of looking over some things at the last minute before. But yeah, we're gonna talk through all the games that we are the most excited for the year, and hopefully it comes back soon because I'm running out of things that I can kind of meander on about. But I mean, 2023 is stacked. There's really something for everyone. We've got things like PSVR 2. He's hatless. That's a bit of a shame. We've got things like PSVR 2. The Xbox is finally going to start rolling out some exclusives next year, we think. PlayStation's got a few lined up. Nintendo's got some things lined up, let alone whatever the third parties and indies are up to too. So it's going to be a pretty full-on year. So we thought we'd kind of go through our games that we're most keen for. I was just saying before that, like, prior to the show, I had them ranked. You didn't. Have you ranked them since, or are you still unranked?
No, still unranked.
Let's start with you then. We'll go through your 5, and we'll just kind of go. We'll deal with any kind of honourable mentions or leftovers after I'm done.
Alright, so my number 5.
Oh, so you have ranked them now. Oh no, you just got 5 games. Yeah, sorry.
Just 5. So my first one we'll say is we didn't get much. Well, actually, let's be honest, we got no gameplay showed of it, but we got shown what the world will look like, and that is Pikmin 4.
Oh, is that actually?
Oh, there's no date set yet.
Oh my god, if that comes out in 2023, Pikmin 3 is the best game on the Wii U and the Switch.
It is a very good game. Even though I skipped 2, I thought, I'll play it, see what it's like, and I thought, this is the greatest Nintendo game ever. Take that, Breath of the Wild, you piece of
shit
garbage.
Rubbish
game.
I didn't even think of that as a 2023 game, but of course it probably is. So, I'm real hyped for that. That probably just jumps onto my list somewhere now, but I won't change what I've got. But yeah, if that ends up releasing, that's definitely top 5 for me. Good pick.
If it does, unless they just give us the stupid mobile app game or the app predominant
Pikmin
thing,
Bloom,
whatever it is. Hey, there's some Pikmin here. You haven't been here today. Go get rid of those clouds on your phone. No, don't want to. Thanks.
Yeah, Pikmin Bloom's nothing to kind of.
Ain't no Pokemon Go.
No, it's definitely not Pokemon Go. Hell, it's not even as good as their Harry Potter effort that they put together too. So,
Harry Potter.
Yeah, there was a Like
I
Niantic
don't.
did a Harry Potter one after the success of Pokemon Go. I can't think of what it was called now, but it was basically Harry Potter Pokemon Go. So that didn't get anywhere near as popular as Pokemon Go, but it certainly did a lot better than Pikmin Bloom. So anyway, um, what is it about Pikmin for you?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just I saw that opening. I don't know what it is with Pikmin. I just think it's just a nice, fun, relaxing game of just killing animals and let them suck up into a funny machine that turns them into
More little
little
animals.
plant things and collecting fruit.
It's a pretty good cycle. It's one I can get around. We'll keep going. What's we'll
Even
just
though
keep rolling through all yours. So.
it pretty much is. Let's be honest, it kind of is a kids game, but screw that. Kids,
There's too
a
much
family
strategy
game.
for it to be a pure
Same.
kids game.
Well, it's well that too. Well, my next one. Go to the next one.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
we'll wheel through your five. We'll go through my five, and then we'll deal with any leftovers
Alright.
after that.
This one too doesn't have a date set yet, but I think they're saying 2023. It might not be. I don't care. But it's Alan Wake 2.
Oh,
If
I
it
can't
comes
remember.
out. It's just. I think it's just on the list of to come out this year with no set date. But it'd just be nice to see what Alan's been doing for the last 10 years. Could be just still sitting in that cafe, staring at a wall, trying to write a book. Or is he writing a book? Or is it in a book? We don't know.
It's a good pick. I'm all about that.
Or
If
he's,
that actually comes out,
or he's in an interrogation room and then that Jesse person from Control just walks in and say, "Hey Alan, where you been?" And then she uses the Jedi mind tricks to bring in a chair,
the Wake verse,
the Wake verse, the Remedy verse,
the
then old Max
control verse.
Then old Max Payne will come in with his old 2002 pixelated face that doesn't move.
No, but yeah, it could be all pretty cool. I'm with you on Alan Wake. You know that one's more survival horror this time though than kind of psychological suspense like the original.
Whatever.
Doesn't phase you.
Doesn't phase me. I
Cool.
was no good at the other one anyway, so survival horror might be my go.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that works.
You never know. Then the next one. Ooh, which one? How many we got? We've done two so far, haven't we?
Yeah, you've done your fifth and your fourth.
This is my fourth, so we won't do that one because well, it is a remake, but I've got another remake in my list, so we won't worry about that one. We'll go with...
There are a couple good remakes coming.
There are a couple of good remakes.
Mostly horror games.
Yes, it seems to be the craze of horror games is back in now for some.
Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space.
We're just going through the cycle again of, hey, 2D platformers are dead, and I just laughed. They go, no, they're not. They're just having a rest for a while.
Yeah.
And look what happened a couple of years later. 2D platformers just blew up.
Exploded, yeah.
Everyone was doing 2D platformers. And then we're dead again.
You're right about those horror games, though. Between Resident Evil surging again, I mean, hell, Alan Wake 2, but Dead Space being remade, Silent Hill 2.
So just all the remakes.
Because I think that's meant to come out this year as well, or this coming year as well.
Oh,
Shit's nuts.
It's just getting crazy. Now, the next one, for some stupid reason for this one, I decided to purchase the collector's edition for this one, which made no sense. It doesn't have a release date yet.
Don't even get me started on collector's editions at the moment. I'll get into that rant later on in my bit.
Yes, well, sorry that you're not level 5. It's just
I'm
such
in a bad fucking mood about that.
And then all those. Well, at least we all know that all the level 5 people are just our scalpers, as we found out.
Yeah, because there's quite a few Final Fantasy. Oh, well, yes, Final Fantasy 16. I'll talk about later. Fuck those people, and fuck EB for putting it behind the wall. I'm gonna go check to see what they're going for on eBay right now. Just break my.
So
heart.
my collector's edition, it's not as good as the Final Fantasy one. The $600
or as expensive,
one.
Yeah.
Expensive as hell. You're surprised why level 5 people got it. But my one is Assassin's Creed Mirage.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good pick. I considered that one.
The stupid thing is, I've never been excited for an Assassin's Creed game ever, and there's been a lot, like I don't know, 16, whatever. Then I get excited for this one because I hear, hey, guess what? We're getting rid of all the side missions. We're going back to a linear type game, and I've never been so excited in my life to hear those words of, hey, we're going back to a linear type game. I'm thinking, you beauty. Unless it's a mission with where you have sex with someone's dad, kill their mum, I'm not interested.
All
Not
of those
interested
Final
at all.
Fantasy 16 collector's editions have disappeared off eBay. I reckon they. I mean, that might have just been sold already.
eBay, or it's eBay cracked down and gone, hey, take it.
Well, we've seen stuff like that in the past where like people have put it up and then they've put up their receipt to kind of prove that it's legit. You know, so people aren't just stealing their money, or having their money stolen. And then eBay's gone, great, now we know exactly who you are. Cancel.
That might be too, because it's not actually technically out yet, so you probably can't just put up something that you don't yet have.
And it's within their terms of service too, so.
Somebody didn't read the terms. So, you silly people. Don't read your terms and services. Could become a human Sentai pad. Really.
But yeah, I've gotten distracted there. So yeah, sorry, keep going on about that one.
Yeah. So we go back to the Middle East where it all started, which I'm also excited for. I never thought I'd be so excited to go back to where it all began, pretty much.
It sounds like it's even playing that same old school sort of way as well. Like I think all the RPG stuff's been stripped out of it again for this one.
So no more boats. The boats are gone.
Well, probably no boats as well. Yeah.
That's good. No boats. No camel. Oh no, camels was only in the other one.
Oh, there'll be camels in the Middle East.
Oh yes, we got camels. That's gonna be great.
There's definitely camels in Iraq. Certainly at that time.
If they don't later ride camel, I'll be disappointed. If there's no camels in there.
Yeah, I can get around that. I'm real keen on it as well.
Some stupid reason. I thought, you know what? I'll buy the collector's edition for it. Because I got all hyped up on collector's editions after I purchased your one. And
to be fair, right now you're probably thinking it's all worth it. After that God of War.
Find out. Hey,
like, I can see what all the fuss is about. This is awesome.
Well, that hammer, that Mjolnir, whatever it's called, totally worth it. See, we can see it now with these low exposure camera. It's hiding in the dark.
Well, yeah, but I've swapped the side as well.
I've hiding behind Kratos.
Ghost is there because it doesn't take up as much space. Tom Hawkins and Geelong stuff can sit there for all the footy shows and all that sort of thing. Not that I don't even know. People can't really see it. They can see Tom Hawkins and that's about it. But yeah, all the God of War stuff's there.
Yes. Old Kratos, young Kratos.
Old Kratos and the hammer.
And the hammer of God. No, it's not the hammer of God. The
Mjolnir.
Yes, that one. Then what's that? That's my third one. What have I done? Oh dear. That's all right. It's not an OD situation. The second last one. No, not really. I think it's just an honorable mention, that one.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Next one is we already spoke about it. Is Resident Evil 4 remake. Because I never played the old ones, even though Resident Evil 4 was exclusive to the GameCube, and I had a GameCube. But
it was exclusive for a while.
But instead, I went and played Resident Evil 0 instead, because that was the only one that had at the video shop at the time.
That's fair. Good reason.
Those were the days.
Video
Not
shops.
Anymore.
No.
Video shops.
Those days dead.
Not even the next Netflix one could last. It is one and done.
That's
gone.
Cooked. Yeah, I'm real keen on RE4 as well. I've played it because back in the day, we had the video games club, and that was a game there. But I played most of it. I didn't play all of it, and I was still a little bit anti kind of Resident Evil at the time for the horror and all those sort of things, and just not wanting a bar of it. Whereas obviously, as we've discussed a few times over the journey, my whole attitude towards that franchise has changed since I tried Resident Evil 7 and kind of came to the light a little bit.
See, that's what happens when you go back to Resident Evil 2. They remake the whole thing and there is no fixed camera. That was the worst thing about.
Well, that definitely helps. But the fixed camera wasn't there for Resident Evil 4 though, was it?
No, I think that's when they went back, when you sort of had...
It's just that the camera stuff isn't as good as what they did in RE2 remake.
Yes. But it's going to be exciting because I didn't play 3 because I'm just a Leon guy. I don't care about the other two.
That's fair.
Don't care about what Jill. Is it Jill? We'll say
Jill Valentine and
some other dude, Greg. It's George. No, it's not George.
Oh, we haven't spoken about George in a while.
George, yeah, because Damo's not on anymore. That's how it all. Just do. I don't know what his name is.
Chris Redfield.
Oh,
Before-
Chris Rock.
I don't have to search that. Get rid of that.
I thought you were going to say Chris Rock for a second. So I don't remember Chris Rock being in Resident Evil.
No, if only.
I know that voice anyway. If you hear Chris Rock, just and then and instead of Mr. X, it's Will Smith. No, it's not. Wrong game. That's not.
And
That's two, not three.
And so, what's your? Well, actually, I suppose it may not be your most anticipated game of the year, but one of your top 5, your final one.
Oh no, this is probably the most anticipated.
Okay,
one.
cool.
It's the only one I'm excited for, which is we talked about last week. It is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be good.
Just
They're ticking all the right
when
boxes.
You know things are getting serious when Kel has a beard. You know things are getting serious.
I managed to write an article for Game Ranks this week just about the fact that he's got facial hair. It was a time.
That's the first thing I noticed. Not even like he's there with his fancy lightsabers or whatever enemies in that tank or whatever. All I noticed was the facial hairs. Like not even the whatever its robot name is. I can't remember what the
BD1.
BD1. Yeah,
I've still got a Lego thing that I've got to build of BD1. It's sitting here at home. Same with my Horizon tall neck that I haven't built.
I was going to call it a long neck for a second, but that's something completely different.
Maybe just once I catch COVID myself, if I've not already got it, as we were discussing before the
you might
recording.
not have the energy for it if you might get COVID. You might try and do it. Just put
I'll
one
be
block
in here. So if I get COVID, I'm locked here in the studio / shed to contend with the mice and and spiders and God knows what else is in here for 4 or 5 days.
You could finally fight off those snails.
Oh yeah, I'll be awake and ready for them. They're just coming through them.
See that door just whack.
I've realised it's not snails though; it's slugs. The snails aren't getting the strip that I've got at the bottom. The slugs can crawl under.
Goddamn slugs!
It's a little fun.
Ruin everything.
But
lettuce leaves, books, carpet, Earthbound, big game thing in the corner.
No, they haven't touched that. It was just the Earthbound book over there, but whatever. Yeah, it's a good pick. I'm real keen on Jedi Survivor, and I'll talk about it shortly as well because it's on my list. So say what you need to say because I'll double dip.
So March. Is it coming?
Yeah, March 17th. Yeah, March 17th.
So I don't have to wait all year for it, which is even better. Just go buy it and not even worry about the rest of the games for the rest of the year because there's goddamn too many of them.
From all reports, they were eyeing off this year and they just couldn't quite get there. So
they thought, you know what? Let's just put it with all the other games for next year. Brilliant. Because it's not going to affect them whatsoever.
Well, the last thing they'd want to do is put it out this year and have it get in the way of your Witcher 3 time.
Yeah, of course. What a team player Respawn is.
How are you going with that, by the way?
Well, so far, it's going back to it. Oh, it's so good. It's brilliant.
But have you escaped the first region yet? White Orchid
yes,
or whatever?
I have. I have got out of the first region. Unfortunately, I'm in the second region. I've done all the Baron stuff. So the Baron stuff's done. However, I keep getting distracted.
That's why The Witcher 3 is so good.
It's so difficult. I've gone to the point now where I don't look at notice boards. Just notice boards out of the question.
You just get distracted by stuff you see in the world.
Yeah, just every other story that pops up, you just randomly ride around and go, "Hey, I need your help." Like, no, go away. I can't say no. That's the problem. I can't say I don't have time for this. It's just I need to do it. I need the money. I need the dollary dues to buy stuff and repair stuff.
I'm really, really excited to go back. I haven't started yet because I'm dealing with a game for review that's coming out next year that I've already got, which is nice. But secondly, I've got a 65-inch QLED coming tomorrow, brand new TV into the house. So thanks to I'll give
you're
you
going to be in big trouble. You're just going to get lost in Geralt's eyes, like I did. I couldn't stop looking.
I've seen screenshots. Holy shit! But I must give the shout out to Kieran from Press Start, who's soon to be the kind of head of all the Press Start content in January. Today, as we record, is his very last day at JB Hi-Fi, and he quickly got his staff discount activated for me for that final day so that I could buy a TV. So, and knocked about $900 off it for me. So I really appreciate that, dude. Because 2,400 is a darn sight better than 3,300 to buy a new TV. So
And a big one. Well, they're all big now.
Yeah, yeah, it's a 65-inch one, which is a little bit bigger than the one that I've currently got. And that'll just move into the kids' room. Considering the
Here you
TV
go.
they had was
Here
more
you
or less
go,
cooked
kids.
anyway.
Have a big TV.
I mean, it's the one they use basically all the time now because the little TV they've got's dead. So now it can
no.
just be official.
Oh,
But
so you
geez, I'm
upgrade the
looking
big-
forward to playing
so you
some stuff
upgrade the
on that screen.
So you upgrade the small TV for your even bigger TV for yourself, just to give the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
own TV.
It's for the kids. But I mean, I'm looking forward to Geralt in on a screen that size. That's beautiful.
Geralt in
There's
4K.
I can finally see what the HDR fuss is all about. Everyone talking about HDR, but
Yeah.
my TV, as much as it was a 4K one, it didn't support HDR, so I can see what that's about.
I'll tell you right now, when he gets his feet out of the bathtub, oh man, you
All
can
right.
see the detail. Like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, wow.
This desk, bit of it lifts a few inches. Well, anyway, moving on from Geralt, and was there anything else you wanted to mention for
Well,
Jedi Survivor?
honorable mentions. I've got Like a Dragon.
Oh, hang on, we'll do those. We'll do those at the end once.
At the end, okay. Let's
Because
no.
you might
I think
steal a couple of mine along the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think we have to say anymore. It's pretty much the same stuff. Just probably like they did with God of War, just improved a few things here and there. You could have just showed me the title of like, done, I'm buying it. You wouldn't
Jedi,
have to
you
even
mean?
have to show me. Yeah, for Jedi.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to show me anything. Just say, hey, Jedi Survivor's here. Like, cool. He's got a beard. Excellent. I'm in.
It does look like that world's a little bit more open, and being able to ride the different mounts was kind of really interesting as well. / kind of hang off one to fly across from part of the map to from one part of the map to the other. That was all pretty cool. And then like getting the Claymore style lightsaber from what's his name? The Kylo Ren that he has, kind of like when it kind of fires out the sides there.
Oh yes.
The dual blades, that sort of like. There's a whole bunch of cool things they're doing there. They hit all the right notes with that latest trailer at the Game Awards to kind of get us all fired up. But a bit like you, like they just needed to announce it. And when they did announcement, I'd already slapped my money down. So
Yeah.
I just haven't slapped money down on that limited run games version. Not after that delivery that ended up pushing it to like $600 or something.
$100 dues.
But I guess if I'm not spending money on Final Fantasy 16, maybe I should consider it. Limited run games. Oh, what am I doing?
Search.
I gotta look away from this thing. Okay, over to I guess. Do they even have it there? The best thing they can do is no, they've still got it in stock. This is gonna just tempt me all the way through the end. We'll see what happens.
Oh, dear.
Close that. My list. So yeah, Jedi Survivor's there, but we'll get to that shortly. I did rank them. So fifth for me is Diablo 4.
Yes.
That game's just
I'm
looking.
surprised old pal Jim hasn't been talking about Diablo and this whole.
It's next level Call of Duty. So, Diablo's huge, but
on mobile it is.
oh yeah, yeah. There's that as well. They'll be pretty quick to try and move on from Diablo 4 Diablo Immortal on mobile and start focusing everything on Diablo 4. But yeah, I mean, they've made all the at its core, it's still the same Diablo experience, but it's the little things they've added. The way they've kind of changed the inventory systems works better. There's climbing in it. There's there was another system.
Climbing.
Oh yeah,
Climbing.
it was kind of that top-down vertical thing, and like I was reading different articles, like you get yourself backed into a corner, and oh, hang on, shit, no, I can
there's
climb
a
my way
wall
out of
there.
here. So you just climb up the cliff face and move on. There's a whole bunch of different systems that they've added that are all shaping up pretty well. So I'm really really keen on what they're doing with that one so far. And again, fuck EB, they put a little collector's edition style thing, but it was just the contents, not the actual.
No game.
No game, no. And I think that's because this day and age of Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and all those sorts of things, it's probably makes a bit of sense actually to not lock them behind that. But anyway, they put the collector's thing up there, and I managed to get that sorted because for a brief period EB said, "Oh, it's exclusive," but then someone must have pointed out to him like, "No, JB's got it too." Like, fantastic! I'm going over to JB and bought that thing. So,
Gosh, psych.
and at least in that case, it's like $160 for just all the collector's edition contents. So then you can just buy the game however you like. which is nice because I might just pick it up from Amazon where I can get the game way cheaper, or whatever the case ends up being. So, and who knows? Maybe I get a code and I can just I don't mind. I don't mind that approach. There's probably a whole episode in like how collector's editions and stuff work when we start going for all digital for the games themselves. But we'll save that for some other time.
So where do you get your game from?
Yeah. So my fourth one was Jedi Survivor. So we've gone into that plenty. So I won't spend too much time on that. But as we said, it's looking shit hot. Like I'm real keen on all the things that they're adding to it. It just seems to be ticking all the right boxes. And then a bit like you, they could have just announced it and said nothing until it came out, and I would have been happy regardless.
They could have shown a trailer a week before it got released, and I still would have been excited. Like, what? He's got facial hair. That's all I would have noticed.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone that far, but I'm more or less with you on the core of the whole thing. Next for me is one that I knew. I knew you wouldn't pick. Sea of Stars, which is it's an indie game. Sea of Stars is a Chrono Trigger style JRPG from but it's from the team that did you play The Messenger?
No.
Oh shit, mate, you need to play The Messenger. The Messenger's amazing, and it's not a JRPG, just to be clear. The Messenger was like a Ninja Gaiden style, old school Ninja Gaiden, 2D platformer that then suddenly just becomes a Metroidvania like halfway through it. And it just does everything unbelievably well. Like it just does not miss a beat. And then in the case of this, well, a lot of the lead creators actually just have this unbelievable love for Chrono Trigger from back on the Super Nintendo, and so let's just make ourselves a Chrono Trigger game, and then let's get the composer from Chrono Trigger to come across, and let's get these people that worked on it. Like they're just tagging a whole bunch of people that know that franchise and know how things kind of work in that space to come across and help them. And visually, it looks incredible. Like the pixel art's right on point. And it's hitting all the right notes. And then I trust them, like their track record is, they've only got one game, but their track record is perfect. So I'll back them in. I know that they love that sort of game, so I trust that they'll do it properly. Number 2 for me is a game that I'm surprised you didn't pick. We even discussed it before the show. Spider-Man 2. Now that it's got it's kind of been officially confirmed.
The only reason I didn't pick it because I knew you had it.
Okay, right.
That's why.
Holiday 2023. That kind of got confirmed in the last few days. I don't think it was ever in doubt, but it's confirmed now. And Insomniac's just on a tear. Like they just keep putting out, like they're arguably the most important studio or the best studio at PlayStation at the moment, because not only are their games consistently 8 or higher, 8.5 or higher in terms of scores, but they're also churning them out at a way faster rate than everyone else. Like they've put out
also not remakes or remasters either. They're all
there's that too. Yeah, Naughty Dog's done obviously is the one that everyone kind of thinks of as being the number one team, but really they've done nothing this gen so far. They put out Last of Us Part 1, sure, whatever.
Last of Us Part 2 remake, that's going to be next.
Well, that's probably only a matter of time.
Uncharted.
They've got the Last of Us factions or the multiplayer that'll come out next year, and I trust them implicitly that that'll be a really, really good game, because factions on the original Last of Us was amazing. And they try and really go heavy with story through the multiplayer thing. So I'm pretty keen for factions, but they're just too slow. They just don't churn out the games at the speed that Insomniac does. And I'd argue that maybe the Naughty Dog games are better. I probably don't feel like there's too much argument there. If you were to put Last of Us Part 2 against Spider-Man from 2018 or whatever, you'd think probably the Last of Us Part 2 wins that pretty comfortably. Probably even the same for Uncharted in terms of just what do you think's better for the most part, in terms of objective stuff as opposed to what do I prefer personally. But Insomniac just churns these games out way faster. They're always of a really, really, really high quality, even if they're not the 10 out of 10s everywhere sort of game.
And they're done in a 40-hour week.
Super sustainable. Have you listened to Dev Diary?
I saw that somewhere. You might have said it. Someone else might have said it.
Yeah,
Insomniac does it in 40-hour week. Their games seem to be all right, while every other developer seems to just have to crunch and not get anywhere near what the game is supposed to look like.
Yeah, Grant Parker, who's my Dev Diary episode 100 guest, worked on Ratchet and actually had a big thing that kind of went really viral very quickly, where he tweeted out about the fact that we did not crunch for a moment to make Ratchet. We worked 40-hour weeks and that was it. So that's fair effort, and also people go check out Dev Diary 100.
I think there's Insomniac are just smart people that just look at it and go, right, this is going to take longer than usual. Not, hey, we're going to do this in the same time as the game we made back in 1997. Like, you idiots, it doesn't work like that.
And they're not crunching, and they're still doing multiple games. Like, they've put out 3 games this generation. One of them is a remaster of Spider-Man from 2018, but they've done Miles and Ratchet already.
And then there's another 2 on the way.
Yeah, and they'll have Spider-Man 2 before probably Naughty Dog does their next proper actual game. So I think that says everything you need to know, let alone Wolverine as well, which is what Grant's working on. So they're kicking goals everywhere.
Neil, what are you doing, pal? What is going on?
Too busy making TV shows, which, to be fair, is also probably going to be a pretty amazing TV show. I mean, that Last of Us trailer is amazing.
Oh, it's good to see the Mandalorian just walking around.
Is he not going to have the best year of all time? Like, between Mandalorian,
I say best year. I think
season 4,
everyone's just going to know there's like 20 different characters. Either Mandalorian, Joel, some other guy.
There's a third role he's playing next year that.
Is he? You got a third one?
There's a third show that something that he's. I'm just because I've just gone blank on his name even. Pedro Pascal. That's right.
Yes,
Pedro Pascal is working on.
What's he working on? The $1 million.
So next year he's got The Last of Us. He's got
Mandalorian,
and I'm sure there was something else. Maybe it was a movie he was appearing in. There was something that maybe he was attached to. Maybe it hasn't kind of been formally kind of locked in for a date or something yet. But I'm pretty sure there was like 3 things. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's he's a beast.
Pedro, busy man, old Pedro.
Pedro Pascal's a machine, and good on him. But yeah, I guess that just leaves my number 1 though, which is unsurprisingly Final Fantasy 16. I'm a Final Fantasy fan from way back, and it's hitting all the right notes. The trailers they put out are incredible. We still haven't seen like just kind of straight pure gameplay. Everything they've kind of presented within other trailers has kind of been little vertical slice. Like, here's the combat, and it's flashy because they're trying to get. I think they're doing a really good job of kind of breaking down Final Fantasy's slow and turn-based and that sort of thing, and they're just going, no, look at this shit, and it's really lit up, and there's swords flying everywhere, and it's heavy combat. It's because they've gone like full action these days. It'll just be the RPG systems in the background. So they're hitting all the right notes. It's working really, really well. And I just can't wait to see it. And the only reason it's this and not Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is because I just don't think that'll come out in 2023 like that.
Wait, again?
Yeah, so
milking it.
Okay, so you don't really know too much about what happened with the old remake then, do you?
What, about the door?
Well, outside of the door.
Or was it half a game? Was that one?
Probably a third of a game.
Or third of a game. I knew it wasn't the whole game. I knew it was...
The Midgar region that you explore in Remake is literally the first disc of 3 in Final Fantasy VII, and it's the super linear part too. Because when you actually step out into the world, which is exactly the point they're at, it's an open world. Or I guess it's not an open world. It's kind of the old school open world, which is like, here's your little city. There's a dot, or like a little tiny little icon for a city, and then you can kind of roam around the world. And you'll have random battles or whatever. But there's a whole you can kind of explore the world from that point. They're literally at that point where they head out, so I don't even know how they're going to handle that.
So they're up to disc 2 now.
They're essentially up to disc 2.
So they're just to go be disc 3 as well.
But they'll 100% have a third one. But the thing about it is, like, they right near the end, and I'm being conscious of people watching or listening that I'm worried I might spoil something for. They change things. Like, there's a point with about an hour to go where they kind of bait and switch. And you're like, yeah, this is not the remake that you thought you were getting. This is not just a 1-for-1 or like like this is we've changed the story here, sent it off in a new direction that kind of I upset some people in a way, because it's not like they really wanted things to play out the way they already knew it would play out. But I actually think it's fascinating what they're doing. So really keen to see more. But hey,
takes it off. So the man with the chain gun doesn't really have a chain gun. It's just your imagination.
It
was a prop all the time.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't think they'll put that out. Considering Final Fantasy 16 is locked in for June, I don't think they'll go with a Final Fantasy that might arguably be even bigger in the same year. I think that'll, like they said, winter, or like they said, winter for Crisis Core, which just came out, and then they said next winter. This is obviously American, to be clear. Next winter for them, which obviously for us is summer. That's December through Feb. So I reckon it'll actually be a 2024 game because they'll try and give, even if it's done and ready, they'll try and give 16 as much room as they can. So that's my number one anyway. The game looks incredible, and I can't wait to just go hands on with it. But yeah, you were going to talk about some honorable mentions, so go for it.
Oh yes, of course. My first one was Like a Dragon. Was it Ishin?
Oh, Ishin, yeah.
I didn't put that one in there because it is another remake, and it was between Resident Evil 4 or that, and I went with Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think you
4.
made the right call.
Yes, so that was that one. My other honorable mention, if I can, Redfall. Just didn't quite make it.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even think about another big Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm surprised none of us put Starfield in there. Just, I don't want to play Starfield for one reason only, because I'll be stupid enough to try and explore all 1,000 planets in that universe.
that's gonna be bad news.
And I'll never play another game again.
But it's 100% not coming out in the first half of the year like they thought, said it was. It's 100%. Like even if they have it done and wanted to, it will be a back end of the year thing now because that first half they just can't drop a game like that with Zelda in there, with Final Fantasy 16 in there, with all those other kind of larger games that are dropping in that time as well. So enjoy your holiday. They might go 11, 11, 23 or something.
Christmas time.
Yeah. And just ruin your Christmas.
Oh, well,
then again, Skyrim you could finish in like 10 hours if you just mainlined it. So I guess if you can avoid the temptations unlike The Witcher, then who knows? You can give it a crack.
Or if you really want to get across the other side of the whatever you call it, planet, world, whatever, just go find a big giant and just let it kick you across to the other side.
Across the galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, across it. Just go from Skyrim to Starfield. That's how powerful that kick is.
Just game jump.
I went up to it one time, just went up, I see what this is all about. Just pretty much took a slight swing of its foot, bang, dead. I was like, wow, I'm never going to do that again. So, and it wasn't just like I just died. I went into orbit almost. So I didn't really go into orbit. If Skyrim had orbit, that's where I would have been.
Yeah.
I hit the peak of whatever Skyrim's atmosphere is. But yeah, excited for Redfall when it comes out. Whenever it comes out.
That's definitely a first half, I reckon. That is 100% first half.
And then my final one was Suicide Squad. As I know, with Gotham Knights, I know the way I look at it, you couldn't do any worse than that. And Captain Boomerang has already sold on me. He's growing on me.
They still haven't shown any gameplay for it, have they?
I might have seen something, but it's all been pretty much cutscenes.
Yeah, I thought it had all been cutscenes. I don't think we've actually seen the game in action yet, have we?
Or maybe when it was the first trailer, they sort of showed. Because when I looked at it, I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be just like Gotham Knights. But Gotham Knights is rubbish. Or incredibly boring, I should say. Where Suicide Squad is Rocksteady, so I do have some faith in Rocksteady, but I'm not sure if the main people who made Arkham Knight, or the Arkham games, are still there or not.
Apparently there was an official gameplay trailer a year ago, but...
What? How did I miss that?
Well, my YouTube's showing that I watched it, but...
I'll
be checking that after. I don't remember that at all. Oh, no, I don't really remember that at all. So I did have Suicide Squad there in kind of the honorable mentions. Didn't have Starfield, and didn't have... What was that? What was the other one you said? Oh, the other remake?
Redfall?
Oh, yeah, Redfall, I don't...
Oh,
yeah.
Like a Dragon.
And yeah, don't have Like a Dragon because I still just haven't given the franchise a chance yet, so I'm not going to get too carried away with something like that. But in terms of other games, so similar to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I don't think Judas or Hades 2... Well, Hades 2 is going to go into early access.
Yeah. I forgot about Judas.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Bioshock, but that's not Bioshock, but it actually is Bioshock.
Yeah, I that whole situation's weird. I can't help but feel like neither of those are... I mean, well, Hades 2 is an early access game, so I don't count that 2023. So if you want to play early access and count it as one of your most anticipated games of the year, I can respect that. But for me, it's got to be a full release or nothing. Judas, I'm just
Wow, the demands right there. Full release or nothing.
Or you don't get any of my attention.
Or you get nothing.
So Judas may make it. I don't know. It's been in development for a long time, so I can't rule it out. And certainly, if it does actually release for this year, then all of a sudden it's game on. Like that shoots right up into my top 5, I'd imagine. Fire Emblem Engage, because I've really grown into to love Fire Emblem over the course of the last few years since Awakening came out in 2013. Keen to play that one.
Is that like the Hyrule Warriors or back to the old?
No, this is this is normal Fire Emblem. Yeah, 3 houses sort of stuff. Wild Hearts, the Monster Hunter like from EA, because I don't know, throw them a bit of love considering Monster Hunters cut their lunch.
I know, but I just look at it and go, it's just going to be shit. So I just look
I'm not feeling the shit thing. I feel pretty good about it so far, but the situation's a bit shit for them. I feel for them there.
When I see the words EA, I lose a little bit of faith.
Don't forget those EA originals are bangers. They haven't got them wrong at all.
I know that, but anything that says EA on it, I think, oh no, I feel sorry for the developer already.
Like your Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Well, not that. More sort of if you go for the Battlefield side type of thing. It was all EA, but going, hey, you guys, you stuffed up. Go apologize. Like, but it's all yours doing EA. Just throw them under the bus, and then you get something like Respawn do a great job. It's like, hey, Respawn, nice job. Thanks, EA. It's about time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can get it, but yeah, I'm confident.
Stupid games.
I have hope. And the money that the EA's got certainly helps to make it look even better. Octopath Traveler 2, keen to give that a go. Old school JRPG. Hogwarts Legacy, now that's confirmed for that's February. But the reason it didn't make, like, I think I've got the love of Harry Potter from when I was young and all that, and so really really keen on that side. But it's still a team that's largely unproven, which is why I couldn't put it in my top 5, despite the fact that everything they put out looks amazing.
I would buy that a collector's edition if it had the Nimbus 2000.
Not just a floating book or whatever it was. Floating. No. Was it floating wand?
Oh, floating wand? No.
I can't remember.
Anyway, I can do that. Nimbus 2000 though.
Hogwarts Legacy.
The best broom. It's a top range.
That thing disappeared fast, and they didn't even put the level 5 pay. Yeah, it was kind of an open book with like a wand floating above it. So
that doesn't sound very exciting.
And they're going for $700 on eBay.
What? For a floating wand?
Steel case, floating wand, which is life size. And
what is the life size wand? I don't understand. It's not a miniature wand. Life size wand.
There's some Final Fantasy 16 collector's editions, but they're all in the UK.
Oh, so they've been shipped over there now. I see.
$1,055 plus $98 postage.
Oh, I'll say the postage is pretty fair.
Yeah,
it makes the postage sound pretty reasonable.
For Star Wars,
1,500.
Yeah.
Still looking.
Anyway, so Hogwarts, yeah, for that, and I couldn't go past, like, if they were, if it was any other year, they would have probably made like top 5 easily. Horizon Forbidden West's Burning Shores DLC, and because I'm buying PSVR 2 day one, but I'm just unsure about how the game is going to translate to VR, but also Firesprite as a developer. Horizon Call of the Mountain as well. As the VR game that's coming out day one, there is also something I'm really, really keen on. So, but then you go and add Pikmin and all those sorts of things you talked about before. I'm like, holy shit! And what I appreciate is that neither of us mentioned Zelda.
Is like, well, you think, oh yeah, that game, and then it's that game too. You're like, oh man, all these games. Then you said a couple of like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game and this game.
Well, there's things like we didn't touch on. We ended up we spoke about it in conversation, but it wasn't in either our list. Dead Space is there. Forspoken is in there.
Well, if I never played the demo, I probably would have put it in my list.
That's right. Yeah, Forspoken's.
But then I played the demo and I wasn't feeling it. I'll just say it. I know it's one side. Like, you either really like it or you don't. There's just no in between.
There's not much in the middle. No. There's Atomic Heart in there, which is really, really cool. Kirby is coming out, and obviously Kirby's on fire at the moment after his recent win.
Yeah, winning
Wolong
awards.
Fallen Dynasty, which is the Soulsborne from like the Neo guys. Um, Skull and Bones from Ubisoft.
Yeah, good luck, Skull and Bones.
Bayonetta Origins comes out
Oh,
the same day as Jedi Survivor, which is a
well,
dick
see you
move.
later,
But
Bayonetta.
yeah,
Silly,
sorry,
silly.
sorry, Bayonetta, especially a Bayonetta spin-off. But like Dead Island 2 comes out in April, although there's a gut feel all of a sudden that might have been delayed.
Still 2023 though.
It'll still be 2023. No, that's right. It got delayed to that point in April. So no, that's still a thing. Street Fighter 6 is coming out. Zelda's coming out. Like it's just.
I like how
little-
both of us never put Zelda on
No,
our
I'm
list.
glad we avoided Zelda.
Yeah. To be honest, I kind of forgot about it. It's just blocked out of my mind altogether.
They just need to prove us wrong. Like, take away the stamina.
They told
that
me
sort of
like, hey, weapons are back to no damage. I'm like, hey, I'll buy it if that's the case. If it says there's no damage to my weapon, I'm in. If
Yeah.
it's the same crap, forget about it. I don't
Yeah,
want to know
pretty much.
about it.
What else have we got? I'm just quickly scrolling through the all important SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake that comes out January 23rd.
Can't forget about that. Well, we did. Say Arc 2. I remember Vin Diesel.
Arc 2's probably in there somewhere. That Blanc, which was the black and white indie game from the Nintendo Direct a while back. It was like the Fox and stuff. That's February. That's Valentine's Day.
Boulder 3. I saw that because all I can think about is Boulder 3.
Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, that's August.
Baldur's Gate 3. That's the one.
Destiny 2 Lightfall comes out. Scars Above is coming out.
Oh, Stalker 2. If it gets out in 2023, Stalker 2.
Oh, yeah, that's
a touchy one.
I won't even make jokes about that one because that's a difficult situation there. The Last of Us comes to PC. Mega Man Battle Network collectors.
So is that another one? Is that another thing on the Wikipedia page you got to get rid of PlayStation games? I saw Lance McDonald.
He's put a good thing out there recently. Yeah,
taking the piss out of what was it? Returnal. He's gone to the Wikipedia page, edited, took out Returnal as a PS5 exclusive game or PlayStation exclusive or PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, that's a whole. Crash Team Rumble is coming out next year, though I think that'll be shit. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, the DLC for that. Ayuden Chronicles for the Suikoden fans out there, which is 100% me. That Exo Primal, remember the Capcom one that everyone thought for a while was Dino Crisis, and then it turns out it's just kind of this like space Dino Crisis, but also still coming from Capcom.
Oh yeah,
he's like mowing through hundreds of dinosaurs. They're pouring out of like space rifts or whatever.
Oh yes, I do. Yes, the old space rift dinosaurs,
which looks kind of cool. Forza's going to come out next year. Forza Motorsport 8 will come out, but it's not Horizon. So Forza Horizon.
The developers could just talk to me about cactuses again and how many shots they took of cactuses, and I'll still be interested in it. I'm like, hey, don't worry, I'm sold on cactuses, even though I've never looked at one cactus in Forza Horizon 5.
The all important I Am Jesus Christ.
Yes.
We were discussing it beforehand. Matto had never heard of it, and you were actually probably a lot better before I mentioned it.
I'm playing it after we finish this.
I'm going to try that demo out, or prologue or whatever it is. Mina the Hollower, which is the new game from the Shovel Knight guys. It's kind of a bit like it's an homage to Link's Awakening, like the Game Boy one. Obviously, we touched on Monster Hunter before. Moving Out 2 comes out next year.
Oh, there we go.
Oxenfree 2.
Just another divorce.
Pikmin 4 you mentioned, and obviously that's on the list.
Yes. Yeah, I start to hurt after a while.
Replaced the kind of gorgeous looking indie from that Xbox has been pumping up. Holy shit, this thing just goes forever. Stellar Blade,
it just doesn't.
Which was that game that
stop.
Like that super, like really Bayonetta-y looking one, but it was kind of super sci-fi that PlayStation had managed to land an exclusive for. Holy shit. Plucky Squire, if we shout out an Aussie game. Wolf Among Us 2. And of course, and it's not, I think, let me just check. I didn't see it in the, it's not in the list at all. No, that's a big mistake on the part of Game Informer here. But arguably the biggest game of all next year is Hollow Knight Silksong.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my name is Mayo 4.
Oh
for a
yeah,
second.
I hope there's my name is Mayo 4, but the PlayStation restrictions might make it a bit harder for them to put that out because it's just replicative content or whatever they called it.
It is not.
No,
You get to put a dress on the jar. That's not repetitive.
that's a very good point. Yeah, it's totally different. So yeah, I mean, Hollow Knight Silk Song's enormous, and that thing is, I mean, when Xbox had their showcase in June, their kind of E3 but not E3 one, they did say that it's first half of 2023. So amongst all of that stuff, Hollow Knight's going to drop. So good luck to everyone. Next year's going to be a joke, absolute dead set joke.
It's ridiculous. It is absolute insanity because usually you get like 3 or 4 AAA games a year, and this we got about
3 or 4 a week.
A week.
It's bullshit.
It's absolute bonkers.
So
I don't know
we'll try and survive.
I don't know if that's what the kids say.
Oh, and don't forget, there's because you've become a bit of a Cyberpunk fan recently, haven't you?
There's a DLC coming out.
The DLC comes out next year. Like, it's just
man.
ridiculous. So, yeah, good luck. Our patched updates are going to be stacked every month next year. It's going to be something like maybe with the exception of
I don't know about that. We could be just
April.
play one game because it's so big that we just can't get around to playing all the other games required.
Well, I really appreciate the one January game that I can't discuss at all right now, but that one January game that I've already been sent for review, so I can great, I can tick one thing off potentially even before the new year rolls along.
Does that even count that you've played a game that's meant to be released in 2023 in 2022? You're gonna just mess with people's minds.
When we get to like the patches, like best game from another year, I can shout out that game. Be like, suck shit, everyone. Everyone else had to wait. So I played it in 2022.
Ah.
Sorry, best game. Like, I'm not implying that the game is good nor bad nor whatever. I'll let you wait, and there's
Vin Diesel's Arc 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, can't wait till we play Arc 2.
No, I can't.
All right, let's wrap things up. That is the final patched episode of the year, and naturally we've pushed it, getting close to an hour at this point. So we've done it very, very well to wrap things up.
Wow.
There's a lot of games to come out next
shocked.
year. We had 10 games to talk about, and we somehow managed to take nearly an hour.
Well, you did added on another 10 games that we couldn't fit into our list and just talked about them.
Just talked about them anyway.
As well.
We gave them far less time. Like they deserve. Piece of shit. Not as bad as Zelda, though. Anyway, thanks for everyone for kind of having tuned in over the course of the year, for review discussions, for the core show itself, and everything else that we've kind of done. And onwards and upwards next year. Hopefully Damo can start to rejoin us on a semi-regular basis next year. Hopefully his internet is up to snuff. We'll try and get him in for the patches, if nothing else. Because, God, without having heard about what he's been playing in a while, it could be a really entertaining conversation when he starts to debrief on the stuff that he's been playing.
It could be just Genshin, and that's it.
Genshin and Fire Emblem, and that's it. Could you, that would be the app. What was the best game you played in 2022, Damo? Genshin came out in 2021. Does that still count? Or 2020, whenever it came out, does that still count? Fire Emblem I've been playing for years. Does that still count? It'll be good shit. So we'll enjoy a few weeks off. Thank you to everyone who's been tuning in over the course of the year. Matto, thanks for being an awesome co-host. Oh, you're going to say something.
We got to thank to our favourite Moen buddy, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, of course. For popping in a few times. I've got some ideas for what we can do early in the piece next year, and if you're okay, I'll talk to you about it after the show. But if that's the case, then we'll definitely need to get Jamie in for at least one of the episodes anyway. And school holiday is probably a good time to try and sync something up with him. So
I just realised too, I wasn't here for one episode as well. Because you kicked me out for a Final Fantasy talk.
Oh, the Final Fantasy one, yeah.
You just told me, Steve's coming in. Take the night off. I'm like, cool.
Well, there was a do you want to? And you're like, oh, nah.
Yeah, it's like you just knew straight away. So it's like, I can get him off. I'll just do one thing. It's like, how'd you get rid of him? I said, we're talking about Final Fantasy. It's like,
done. Problem solved.
Done. Solved.
Yeah, true. So Matto's been there for 49 this year. Anyway, we'll wrap things up there. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes more patched, Player 2 plays, Gamer Score, and a whole bunch more. Make sure to visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick it a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. High tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, Twitter, Matto.
Matto_Field.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. Let us know in the comments on YouTube what your games are that you're really keen on for next year. It'd be really kind of fascinating to see how much we kind of cross over. And if you put Zelda as your number one, Jamie,
Yeah.
this probably applies to you. Fuck off. It's not worthy. It's not a Zelda game. Anyway,
we don't want a bar of it. We don't care. But yeah, but this like no.
people are gonna
No,
love
stop.
hearing this shit from us as Tears of the Kingdom's release date gets closer and closer and closer. Especially if it does stick with stamina.
This is what's going. This is what's going to
degrading
happen.
weapons.
It's like you'll go one week. Hey, guess what? What? Tears of the Kingdom come out. Really? Cool. And let's move on.
Bin.
It's like, wow. Anyway,
Yeah.
on to
We'll
more important news.
It'll be good fun. It'll be good fun to talk. Well, look, I'm still going to play it, but I'm just, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you in a few weeks after. Enjoy your holiday breaks and all those sorts of things too. We'll see you later.